Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
The release of official election results in Haiti postponed until the new year. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Friday, December 29. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Ricardo Roberts. Good evening and welcome to the final newscast for 2016 and the last in our six-part series of Caribbean Newsline 2016 Look Back, a review of the stories that made headlines in the region this year. But first, Haitians will have to wait until 2017 to know the final certified results of last month's disputed presidential elections. The official results were expected on Thursday, but electoral officials have delayed the release until January 3rd. Executive Director of the Provisional Electoral Council, Antoine, informed the country that because of the verification process ordered by the court and the various phases of the electoral dispute, the publication of the results had to be pushed back. A preliminary tally of the votes in the November 20 poll had given an outright victory to Jovenel Moïse, who got more than 55% of the vote. But last week, the Electoral Court ordered a review of the preliminary results following a legal challenge filed by the political parties of three other candidates, Jude Celestin, Moïse Jean-Charles, and Maurice Narcisse. Haiti has been without an elected head of state ever since Michel Motelli left office in February. The country is being run by interim President Jocelyn Prévert, who has called on all parties to accept the results of the poll. In Trinidad and Tobago, former Energy Minister Caroline C-Prasad-Bechan says the energy sector is in crisis and she's predicting a challenging and trying 2017. She admitted that the former People's Partnership government made some mistakes, but she also says the current People's National Movement administration has done little to ignite the sector. We get more in this report from Hima Ramkisoon of CNC3 News.
Caroline C-Prasad-Bechan is insisting that the current administration has done little for the energy sector.
I listened to the government. I thought that when they came in, they had a plan where they would have been reconfiguring the energy sector and at the same time accelerating the pace of the diversification process of the economy. How you use the energy sector as well to do this. But, to date, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing the strategies to be able to do so. Tell me one thing. How many, what have they done since they've come in?
She also waded into the government over the recently concluded Venezuela deal. She says the entire deal remains shrouded in secrecy.
If so, right, would it be at a price that will allow you to sell to your downstream operators in the Point Lisas industrial estate at a price that will allow for profit for the NGC? My concern is that you can end up in a situation where there is a subsidizing of gas. Because if it is that you are able to, you're not able, and what signaled this to me is when I heard the Prime Minister himself saying that, the NGC does not have the capital resources,
right,
the financial resources to cover this project, and that the taxpayers may be getting involved. The NGC is, has a high credit rating. The NGC can approach the markets for debt financing and for the necessary capital, even if in terms of equity capital, to be able to fund this particular project.
The association representing LIAT pilots wants the regional airline to take action against a passenger whose accusation that a pilot smelled of alcohol had forced the cancellation of a flight earlier this month. The Leeward Islands Airline Pilots Association, LIALPA, said it was never in doubt that the pilot was innocent of what it described as a mischievous allegation. The incident had occurred on December 13 when a passenger on a flight from Barbados to St. Vincent and the Grenadines allegedly detected the smell of alcohol on one of the pilots and openly accused him. Liat said the pilot had been cleared of the allegation after he voluntarily submitted to independent testing by medical professionals in Barbados. But Lialpa says it is not satisfied by Liat refuting the allegation against the pilot, and it's waiting to be informed of the measures the airline will take in dealing with the passenger. It's said in the past those measures have included legal action against the passenger and or the passenger being blacklisted on all Liat-operated flights. Lialpa said it is confident that Liat will deal with the situation no differently. And finally, in sports, West Indies T20 star Dwayne Bravo could be facing a spell on the sidelines after sustaining a hamstring injury during his Melbourne Renegades' dramatic 4-wicket defeat to Perth Squashers in the Big Bash League on Thursday. Attempting to stop an offside stroke by Michael Klinger from going to the boundary, the 33-year-old all-rounder put in a trademark dive to pull off the save, but injured himself in the process. Bravo was subsequently treated and stretchered from the field and was expected to undergo scans to determine the extent of the injury. He was injured just a few days after West Indies women's star Deandra Dottin suffered multiple cheek fractures following an on-field collision with Brisbane Heat teammate Laura Harris during a women's Big Bash League game at the Allen Border Field. And stay with us. When we come back, we look at the big stories from November and December 2016.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Round Hay Pharmacy now has 2 locations to fill your prescriptions promptly and efficiently. Our branch at One Accord Plaza is open daily, including Sundays and bank holidays. Also, check out our new drive-through location at Warren's Healthcare Complex in Michael, the first and only drive-through pharmacy in Barbados. For more information, call Round Hay One Accord Plaza at 421-7863 and our new drive-through branch at Warren's in Michael at 424-5574.
And welcome back. We now take a look back at the stories that made headlines in November and December 2016.
Haiti's Provisional Electoral Council, the CEP, is hinting at the possibility there will be no presidential and legislative elections later this month. Officials now say the vote could be postponed if authorities are not able to repair nearly 300 polling centers that were damaged in the hurricane. Prime Minister Alain Chastanet is keeping his options open as far as getting help from the International Monetary Fund is concerned, as his 5-month-old administration battles St. Lucia's economic challenges.
I certainly would not exclude the IMF or the World Bank or CDB or the Central Bank from any of the discussions. In fact, we've embraced all of them. And we've gotten a diagnostic study that was done, that has been delivered, that is now formulating the foundation for moving forward.
From 2017 to 2020, our offer will be 0, 0, 0.
This was the statement that raised the ire of some trade union leaders. But a few hours later, Finance Minister Colm Inworth was forced to clarify that he never announced a wage freeze for public servants.
The word I used was wage restraint, not wage freeze. And wage restraint is a long way away from a wage freeze.
The Keith Rowley administration has filed its first corruption case against officials of the former People's Partnership Administration.
The nature of the matters will surround the core of corruption, of course unjust enrichment, breach of certain duties, but it is squarely designed to tackle corruption, mismanagement, and to ask people to account for what they've done.
The war is not on government employees or the working class. The war that we have declared is on corruption and on those persons who had made a career of conspiring to steal public money.
The prisons have also deducted monies and vacation days from officers, and in some cases they have even been told that they can receive no vacation for a year. Now, how can this be? An officer is a stressful environment. He's being told he can't get vacation. Is this legal?
There is an upsurge in gang-on-gang violence in the Cayman Islands, and Acting Commissioner of Police Anthony Innes says he's going to use all resources available to respond to the increase in crime.
Because I've heard all this talk, that we're going to have these gang interventions, and I've not seen anything. And it can't rest at the feet of the police alone.
Dominica on Thursday celebrated 38 years of independence under the theme Strengthening Our Commitment to Nation Building. In his address to the nation, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt said the theme flowed out of the challenges now being faced in rebuilding Dominica following the widespread destruction caused by the passage of Tropical Storm Erica last year, August.
From the government's point of view, Minister Harman pointed out that some decisions would have to be made about the sugar belt by the end of 2016. But in the midst of all the bad news, Gaisuka was able to access some overseas markets recently.
In Barbados, health authorities are reporting a significant increase in dengue fever. Ministry of Health said that for the week ending October 8, the island had recorded 467 confirmed cases compared to 70 for the same period last year.
Authorities in Haiti say flooding has killed at least 10 people in 3 northern provinces as heavy rain drenched the area over a 48-hour span.
Can the Member of Parliament give out URP jobs? Is that legal?
We don't have any stake in this election. There was a time during the Bush era when we had the Enterprise of the Americas initiative. I think that those days are gone.
Dozens of workers met with their union at midday in front of Express House in Port of Spain. According to Bigwoo, more than 100 members of staff have been laid off in the last year.
A year-old boy died on the northern Grenadine island of Beckwith Wednesday after he was swept away by floodwaters, reportedly while trying to clear a drain.
I saw like a face turn and look at me. I noticed it as a child. So I forget who I was talking to and I scream out, running out, and I run calling my neighbor and calling she, oh God, I pick me and wash me, I pick me and wash me.
The Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Sir Hilary Beckles, is warning the Caribbean to prepare for returning nationals and other migrants from North America.
Understand these are going to be the forces that will be unleashed. This is not the first time this has happened. I can assure you I was living in Great Britain when Maggie Thatcher came to power with very similar philosophical constructs. And that was the beginning of a net migration of Caribbean peoples out of Britain.
We have been affording the services that they require, consular services that is. They are currently in good health as of a couple of days back, and overall we are very hopeful that they can be reunited with their families in Trinidad and Tobago.
4 murder victims each suffered blunt force trauma to the head and were killed sometime between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. Sunday night. 2 of the victims, 75-year-old retired nurse Avis Israel and her son, 47-year-old mechanic Ronald Israel of New Montrose, were killed in their house located a couple hundred yards away from the official residence of the Prime Minister.
It seems as though there are 2 levels of investigation that ought to be done. One, it's a criminal act in terms of violating the Electronic Crimes Act by transmitting certain pornographic images over the internet. That is a criminal offense, and I believe the police would have to do that investigation.
We've made no secret of the fact that there will have to be a degree of fiscal consolidation. So there's going to have to be a tax restructuring as well as a bond restructuring exercise.
The new Democratic Party NDP in St. Vincent and the Grenadines will soon have to elect a new leader. Arnim Eustace has announced that not only will he be quitting the opposition leader, but he will not be seeking re-election as head of the party.
2 days after Arnim Eustace resigned as leader of the new Democratic Party in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a new head has been elected. Lawyer and four-time member of the Parliament, Dr. Godwin Friday, got the nod from his colleagues in a vote Thursday, paving the way for him to be sworn in as leader of the opposition.
After Haitians finally voted in a fresh round of presidential and legislative elections on Sunday, the vote counting has begun. And already, interim President Jocelyn Prevere is calling on Haitians to accept the outcome, whatever it is. The referendum on major changes to Grenada's constitution will go ahead as planned.
These are all matters on which we should go out and vote our consciences.
Heavy rainfall in recent weeks has flooded many Eastern Caribbean countries, causing millions of dollars in damage. And one regional climate change expert says the reality is that the region just can't handle the unpredictable weather patterns that are creating that havoc.
What is happening is that previously, when you get a set of rainfall extending over, say, about 3 months, 3 to 4 month period, you're getting all that in a few days. Our drainage systems aren't designed to basically deal with that. Our reservoirs for the water companies aren't designed to hold that volume of water, so the water goes up.
So these kind of heat waves, that has significant implications for things like health. You think about asthma sufferers throughout the Caribbean, things like comfort, certainly has significant implications for energy required to cool on that kind of consistent basis. That's a new kind of regime.
Several families are still marooned in Matlot after torrential overnight rains wreaked havoc at several locations along the north coast. Children could not go to school and residents say their lives have been severely disrupted.
There's about 12 acres of cocoa with bananas. And they sell bananas to the wholesale market. That's why don't people live in. What we are seeing and what you all have been filming is the result of an overnight and maybe 2 days of rainfall. What's happening here, this is disastrous to the community.
Guyana's private sector is describing the 2017 national budget as confusing. It says there is need for more clarity on some of the taxes the government plans to introduce.
The new environmental levy with penalties will be implemented by amending the Customs Act, Chapter 8201. To include a section to impose this levy.
No business anymore absorb anything. We're in business to make a profit, and any such tax will be passed on to the consumer.
Riot police using pepper spray were deployed as hundreds gathered outside the House of Assembly in Bermuda on Friday to protest against government's plans for a new airport. Reports say 2 females had to receive treatment from paramedics, with witnesses saying one was injured after a confrontation with officers.
Complaints are mounting against police officers in Bermuda after last Friday's violent clash with protesters outside Parliament.
We're talking about the airport project. Airport project's not got to take back seat, We got to resolve exactly what happened on Friday to the people of Bermuda.
Climatologist at the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology, Dr. Cedric Van Meerbeek, says there is a correlation between the increase in temperature and health problems in the region.
2016 was quite a hot year. We hope that next year will be a bit better. In October, for instance, there were some hospitals that really saw that there was more illnesses and discomfort that is related to heat. But will that be the same next year? That is something that we can help forecast.
Nazim Burke is urging more Caribbean countries to become shareholders of the regional carrier.
Most of these mass transit arrangements don't make money. They're usually subsidized. And Liat cannot be expected to be profit-making if there are 2 or 3 governments that are putting money in it and nobody else is financing.
6 people are dead following a 2-vehicle smash-up on Churchill Roosevelt Highway in Trinidad and Tobago late Monday night. Private security officers were involved in the accident that was caused, according to eyewitnesses, when one of the vehicles broke a red light. Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris on Wednesday presented a $712.9 million EC dollar budget devoid of any new taxes. And a major part of the way forward for accelerating growth is partnership with the private sector. An opposition legislator in Belize has failed in his attempt to get the court to overturn his suspension from Parliament. But legal counsel for Julius Espat will be appealing the ruling.
Disappointed because we did not feel that this was a clear-cut case where the judiciary could not intervene in parliamentary affairs, especially since there is serious allegation of breach of fundamental rights.
It's very disappointing because I am not defending Julius Espat in this case. I am representing thousands of people, and the system is the problem.
I take no pride or any joy in having the people of Cayo South without their representative in the House. That's not a good thing. But the House has rules, and I believe that members have to follow those rules.
Dr. Hubert Minnis is on the verge of being ousted as opposition leader in the Bahamas. He was caught completely off guard on Wednesday when it was revealed in Parliament that of the other 9 sitting MPs from his Free National Movement, 7 had voted to remove him.
Our caucus has also voted to undertake its work in Parliament under the leadership of Loretta Butler Turner.
These, as I would call, rebels, yes, rebels do not believe in democracy, yes, and will continue to subvert the process of democracy. If we have individuals like we see here today, if the results are not what they intended to be or what they want, then we could be headed towards an undemocratic society and possibly one of dictatorship.
On Sunday, the name Loretta Butler Turner was etched in the annals of Bahamian history as she became the first female opposition leader in Parliament. Butler Turner says what is important about McCartney's appointments are that it puts the Bahamian public before party politics to ensure the alliance is collectively able to defeat the Progressive Liberal Party.
Take your leave to move the adjournment of the House today under Standing Order 17 for the purpose of discussing a definite matter of urgent public importance, namely the failure of government to address the unprecedented increase in the number of murders and missing persons in Trinidad and Tobago.
I am not satisfied that this matter qualifies under this standing order. I advise that the member pursue this matter under Standing Order 16. Members, member, I have not granted. Member for Siparia. Member for Siparia. By virtue of Standing Order 55, I ask you to withdraw from the chamber. Member for Naparima also.
It is the opposition's morbid fear of the reciprocity of information which the United States of America and Europe and Asia will give to us in automatic exchange of information, which will show where money which has been stolen under the last government is parked, that they are afraid of engaging.
West Indies ended their winless streak Thursday when they convincingly beat Pakistan by 5 wickets in the third and final test to record their first test victory in 19 months. And Captain Jason Holder has urged his West Indies side to stay hungry. The all-rounder said the Windies have the makings of a very good unit.
I think if I could sum up my feelings right now in one word, I'd just say proud. Proud of the character which you guys showed, proud of the fight that showed. You know, on the back of a lot of criticism here and there, it's been a tough year. And for the guys to come out in this last test match and perform the way they did, and not only this test match, I thought we were very competitive the entire series, you know.
Still in cricket, West Indies T20 captain Carlos Brathwaite is among 3 players who have declined central contracts from the West Indies Cricket Board. In a release Thursday, the board said Brathwaite, along with Test batsmen Darren Bravo and Marlon Samuels, had all opted not to sign retainers for the period which ends next September.
And the West Indies Cricket Board has refused to confirm whether marquee batsman Darren Bravo was offered a lower level grade C central contract for the upcoming year. According to Trinidad Newsday on Friday, the 27-year-old batsman had been overlooked for a top-tier retainer and given a grade C contract worth $100,000.
Former West Indies cricketer believes senior batsman Darren Bravo deserves a better retainer contract than what the West Indies Cricket Board offered him.
I believe that it's very unfair to Darren to be offered a C contract, and you have so many of the other players who have been offered A contracts and they are not as senior as he is.
West Indies Cricket Board President Dave Cameron is today defending the board's decision to offer seasoned batsman Darren Bravo a C contract.
Because it's explicit that if your averages are not above a certain level, it tells you what contracts you get. It's very, very explicit. His averages in the last 2 years have been declining. So what do? Reward poor performance, or do you encourage him to get better?
But the experienced batsman took to Twitter with some, well, rather choice words to rubbish Cameron's claim, citing that he had never been given an A contract. Bravo said, quote, "You have been failing for the last 4 years. Why don't you resign? And FYI, I have never been given an A contract." End quote.
Well, West Indies cricket has once again been rocked by controversy, with batting star Darren Bravo being controversially sent home ahead of the Tri-Nation Series in Zimbabwe. This after the West Indies Cricket Board cancelled his match tour contract on Saturday over a contentious tweet deemed disparaging to President David Cameron. In an interview with Sportsmax, deposed T20 skipper Darren Sammy expressed surprise over the player's rant. But while he agrees the tweet may have been disrespectful, he says the board needs to learn that respect from players must be earned.
Well, firstly, I would say, the president of any organization, whether it be football, sports, a work environment, is the most respected person of the establishment. But, I've always learned that respect is not something you demand. You earn that. And
Former West Indies Cricket Board President believes some of the controversies plaguing regional cricket could have been handled a lot better.
To put it mildly, it has been very high-handed. It has been disrespectful. And it has been unprincipled.
Well-traveled Belgian Tom St. Feet has been appointed head coach of Trinidad and Tobago's national football squad, the Soca Warriors.
I believe it's possible. 2 games are played. We are 5th position. We have to be in the top three, or if needed, to the 4th position and playoffs. But there are still 8 games to go.
The TNT football fraternity is not at all happy about the appointment of Tom St. Feet as head coach of the senior men's squad.
I think I've been in the game long enough to know that this has hurt the football fraternity of Trinidad and Tobago. It is an absolute disrespect for the coaches that work their heads off at different club levels, the youth levels, even some of them at the senior levels.
A former regional cricketer is condemning the move by the West Indies Cricket Board to impose a 20% levy on its star-studded T20 players. Dinanath Ramnarayan, who is the former president of the West Indies Players Association, believes the levy is unfair.
When you look at a situation where Kieran Pollard is not contracted with the West Indies Cricket Board, he was not selected, and now they are trying to prevent him unless he pays 20% of his fees to the West Indies Cricket Board. I think that is I don't know how else to describe it, but I think it's an extortion.
Claims of sexual abuse in Bermuda football have sent shockwaves throughout the island's football fraternity. Head coach Andrew Bascombe and his brother David said they were sexually abused in their early soccer careers. The revelation came 1 week after local football coach Maceo Dill claimed the game had been widely affected by sexual abuse. He said local clubs had been a breeding ground for sexual predators looking to prey on vulnerable youngsters. On Monday, Bascombe broke down in tears at a press conference where he revealed that he was a victim.
Barbados, renowned for its pristine beachfront and fantastic weather, continues to leave quite an impression on newcomers to the island and returning visitors. Caribbean island, quite popular as a vacation hotspot, is not only beautiful due to its natural aesthetics. The island of Barbados continues to grow in popularity because of unique connections developed with our people, our culture. We can't wait to welcome you.
Do you want a real Barbadian experience with peace and tranquility? A home away from home feeling? Come and stay at Best E Villas. We offer 2 amazing locations to choose from, Prospect St. James or Christchurch. Plan a staycation for your anniversary, birthdays, summer or winter breaks, or any special event. Best E Villas is located in close proximity to our lovely beaches. Call us now at 246-425-9751 or visit us at bestevillas.com and make your booking for the best in villas.
Again, the major developments of this day, the release of Haiti's disputed presidential elections postponed until January 3. And in sports, West Indies T20 batting star Dwayne Bravo sustains a hamstring injury in the Big Bash League. And that's Caribbean Newsline for 2016. For news and sports round the clock, log on to canonnews.com. We'll be back here again on Tuesday. But from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching. Have yourselves a blessed and prosperous 2017.